Today I'm out on my patch doing a checkup on one of our refurbishment projects. Now this is a property that you've already seen. It is the porn house. You've got to look on YouTube here if you want to see what this looked like the day we bought it and find out a bit more about why it's known as the porn house. Now something I didn't even realize when we went around the property the first time was the number of the house. It's number 69. Ooh la la. I haven't changed the door yet. I'm going to put a new door in. We have done the windows. So on the outside of the property, we've replaced all the windows. Let's take you inside and show you what we've done on the internals as well. Everyone's working on the property right now. We've gone back to brick on up to about 1.5 meters, so not the entire wall, and we're damp proofing everything throughout. So one of the key things on all of our refurbishments is to make sure that we future-proof them and get to a C-rated energy performance certificate. We not only just do the damp proofing, but on the external walls, we're adding additional insulation. So we're doing what's called internal wall insulation. So we build this timber frame around the property, put insulated boards in between the frames, plasterboard on the outside, and then plaster onto that. So we've got that additional wall thickness, which will improve the energy performance rating of the property. All new wiring being fitted throughout as well. Just finishing up on the damp proofing and stuff here on this wall, as you can see. New handrail fitted, old handrail taken off. This one's going to be used on the additional staircase upstairs, which I'll show you in a few moments. Here we've got a dining room just before the kitchen. Wall insulation all the way around will be done, and the damp proofing on all walls. Even the internal walls, we damp proof it all, because sometimes what we have noticed, especially on these concrete floors on 100-year-old houses, is that damp could come up through the center of the property, rising damp from the middle. So we literally don't just do the damp proofing of the external walls, we do all the walls around the property. You can see the new wiring being fitted in again. So right throughout the property, all rewired. Plug socket holes have been cut out through the plasterboard. When you're doing wall insulation or anything like this, think about when the valuer comes around in the future. So always do photographs and proof to show that you have fitted that insulation inside the boards. Otherwise, the valuer could literally start drilling holes in your property to prove that that work has been done. And certainly the energy performance certificate guy, he will start drilling holes in your property to make sure that it's done if you cannot show them proof. We've got a really nice kitchen here. We've decided to leave it. So we've replastered the tiles, keeping costs down. There's zero reason to remove a good kitchen like this. We will probably replace the cooker, maybe the worktop, but the frame of the kitchen we're going to keep, the tiles we're going to keep, leave it as it is. So we've done the ceilings and through to the bathroom. We've just ripped the bathroom out at the moment, not fitted anything back in yet. We always leave the toilet for the builders, so the toilet gets removed and replaced on the same day, so there's always somewhere to do your duty should you need to. The first video, if you watch when we walked around this house, I think I made a comment about trying to find the garden because it was all overgrown. Well, actually, there is no garden. The property just ends on a back wall. So this was all overgrown. You can see some of it still left here. We didn't know how long the garden was. We've now found out that it's not that long, but it's very good for rental property because it's less maintenance. I actually own the property next door, but what we have done is put a new fence in between the two properties just to give that little bit of space between the two. A lot of work been done outside. All the guttering has been replaced with new guttering, and you can see the guys working up there at the moment, replacing some of the brickwork. So we're doing absolutely everything on this property that needs doing. No corners cut. A lot of people will not bother doing damp proofing in the little cupboards and stuff under the staircases. We do it all right through. If you're going to go this far, why not go a few foot more? Then it's upstairs. Here we've put a completely new floor in. One of the things about these properties with the old floorboards is quite often they can be uneven and also a little bit noisy. So when you're downstairs, you can hear people walking on the upstairs floors. So we put in new solid floors. So when you put your new carpets on top, you'll hear very little noise through the floor, and it's also very even. We've ripped out the radiators. We're going to be fitting new radiators. We've got the pipework coming through. This will be covered over because we're going to be putting the solid wall insulation in here to cover these over. The wiring coming through already as well. So blank canvas in here at this stage, nearly there. Now, if you remember, this was a 2-bedroom property with an attic room, but you had to go through the back bedroom to go upstairs. And I showed you in that video how we were going to create a corridor. Well, that corridor is in now. So we've just put up a partition wall to create a corridor to get up to the top bedroom. So let me take you into bedroom 2 first of all, then I'll take you up to the 3rd bedroom. But by doing this, we've now created 3 completely separate rooms, and this will add value to your property because going through one room to get to another room, it actually devalues your house. The boiler, it's the old boiler, it was actually in really good condition, so we've kept the old boiler. Gonna get it boxed into a cupboard in the corner here and just leave it. Again, we've replaced some of the floorboards, not all the floorboards here because most of it was pretty fine. So at the end of the corridor, we kept this space. Choices here, we could fit a little shower room or something in the bedroom, but actually what we're going to do is just put a cupboard. So 2 really nice sized rooms. We head upstairs. We're gonna be fitting a handrail. Whoa, that wasn't there a minute ago.
Sorry about.
And be careful on site. New handrail all the way around. So again, a lot of people cut corners and they leave the old handrails, the old timber work. We've just replaced everything. Again, on this side, you can see where the insulation is all in and the plasterboard's been all fitted over it. On the opposite side, you can see the basics of what we're doing. So we fit the timber frame first of all. We then fit the insulation board around that. So these boards will be cut to size and fitted into these slots like so, and then we'll put the plasterboard on top, getting us the additional insulation, and especially with attic rooms like this that can often be quite cold. This is going to massively increase the energy performance for the property. This is the main man. He hates the camera. Now, if this was going to be a HMO, a house of multiple occupancy, I'd have made this 2 bedrooms. But because it's going to be a family home, a 3-bedroom house is the ideal size in our area. It's where most demand is for family homes. However, this is the 3rd floor and the main bathroom's on the ground floor. So what we've done is we've made an ensuite bathroom here. So this is going to again add massive value to the property. And the point of this is some people are trying to buy property below the asking price. When we seen this property, we paid the asking price. And the reason we paid the asking price was because we're going to add value to it. So we're increasing the value of the property to make it worth more money. It's still here. I need to ask you a question.
Yes.
See this box of porn?
You're still on mine.
No, this box of porn, this was way fuller before you came up into this room.
Always.
Do you know who's watching them? Is it the boys? We have a build team working in here, and fact is, that box of porn is getting emptier by the day. There's even vinyl. Hot buttered soul. So that's the property and where we're at right now. So we're about halfway through the refurbishment. The thing is though, we've done all of the, what I call the dirty work. So the ripping out of all the old stuff, the ripping back to brick of the walls, insulation of it, the putting up of the plasterboard, almost complete. New windows are fitted, the wiring is all done, some of the sockets are fitted. So a lot of the more difficult, dirty type of jobs are done. The next stage is putting it all back together fully. So plastering the walls, painting the walls, fitting the new bathroom suite. The minor changes to the kitchen. Do we replace the cooker? Do we replace the worktop, but leave the carcasses of the kitchen? And then final stages will be the carpeting. So placing the carpets, get the property up, advertised and rented out. We've a budget of 30 grand for the refurb. We're about on budget right now. Now we've got to control that budget obviously. We found a few things that we weren't expecting, like the brickwork that we're doing on the outside, but at the same time we've saved money by not having to do a whole large garden. There was no real cost outside apart from removing weeds. So we've saved a bit of money on the outside. Good savings here was being able to keep the boiler, save the boiler. Good savings is not having to replace the entire kitchen. We've had to spend a bit of money extra on the pointing and things, but that gets us back on budget. We always have a contingency anyway, because any job like this, you're going to uncover problems that you weren't expecting. When you do a viewing, you're never going to spot everything. That's why when you're working out the cost of a refurbishment, always add a contingency in for those unforeseen things that you spot. Plan for being a little bit over your budget. Always be pessimistic rather than optimistic when you're doing your costings on a refurbishment like this. Looking at where we're at the moment, we're probably about 4 weeks off finishing this project. So this property was purchased using a joint venture partnership. There is lots of different ways that you can do no money down property. No money down means none of your money down. Not just joint venture finance or private investor finance, by the way. There's things like lease option agreements, exchange delay completions, assisted sales, vendor finance where the owner would fund your purchase. If you want to learn how you can start your property portfolio, how you can do no money down property investment deals where you're not exchanging your time for money in a job to build a portfolio, then there's a completely free guide. You can download it now. It's in the pinned comments and in the description. Go check it out and start your property portfolio today. So this is stage 2 of the porn house. If you want to watch stage 1, see what it looked like, you can do that here now. Remember, make sure that you keep an eye out for the final stage, the finished property. I've been Kevin McDonnell. You've been amazing. I'll see you next time.